In 2022, a Disney-owned station in Philadelphia has sold the sportscast of its 6 p.m. evening news to DraftKings. The broadcaster you see in the center of your screen is surrounded by DraftKings advertising at 6:20 p.m. as he reports on the Philadelphia Eagles. Mark mentioned the particular risk to younger men. Younger men watch sports on the news. Younger women watch sports on the news. 6-year-olds watch sports on the news. Look at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, and you will see a QR code. Anyone with a cell phone can simply hold their phone up to the QR code on a Disney-owned station in Philadelphia, and it will take you immediately to the DraftKings Sportsbook and Casino. We talk about kids. Is there a better moment to be a sports fan than the World Series? Now, it's the 5th game. Could be the deciding game. Bases loaded, 5-4. The count, 3-1. A crucial moment in the World Series. Take yourself back to sitting with a parent or a significant friend or relative as a child, and you're watching what was then your favorite sporting event on TV, the World Series.
The 3-1 pitch. That's inside, and this game is tied. A bases loaded walk to Martin Maldonado after the intentional pass to Bregman. And it's 5-5 here in the 5th of Game 5. Rick Kranitz out to talk, and now a quick word from DraftKings.
Hey, better. This postseason, bet $1 to win 100 if either team gets a hit. Download the app, sign up with the promo code, and make it rain.
5-5 World Series, Game 5. It would be nice if a 14-year-old daughter could turn to her mother or father and ask whether the pitching coach is likely to change pitches, or there's going to be a pinch hitter next, or what the strategy might be. But instead now, without any filter at all, none, what you just saw is what took place on Fox in the middle of Game 5 of the World Series. So we talk about a little bit about constant access. Take a quick look at this screen. This screen shows you something from 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, this past Thursday. The opportunity to bet whether the final score in a Danish basketball league between the Bears and the Wolfpack would be odds or evens. If you are even contemplating taking up the offer of betting odd or even on a Danish basketball league game at 1:30 in the afternoon from your phone or tablet or computer, you have met the diagnostic criteria for a gambling problem. Is this what was intended by the United States Supreme Court when they decided a case on federalism? Is this the type of access that is consistent with public health? So we talked about genius, and we took a look at what it is to watch the World Series in 2021. Let's take a look at what it means to go to a game now in 2022. Not only did the NFL form gambling relationships with 7 gambling partners, Commissioner Goodell has cleared the way for individual teams to form relationships. In Philadelphia, one of those relationships is the Philadelphia Eagles and DraftKings. So fans sitting in the stands watching the game don't even have to move. There will be QR codes displayed on the screen to assist people in making bets from their seat. Immediate access to action. Here's where you'll really see it on vivid display.
Okay, so we didn't actually just scale a mountain. Casey here's afraid of heights. I told you that in confidence.
But we did just hit the last leg of our PointsBet same-game parlay, combining multiple bets all on a single game. And that's how you do more than just bet. That's how you live your bet life. New customers get risk-free bets up to $2,000.
We're going to talk about risk-free bets in a minute. What you were seeing there was a call to action. They mentioned parlay and same game parlay. Here's an actual picture of what a parlay slip could look like. 4 bets on 4 random games. They tout that $100 would pay you $1,200. What they don't tell you in this chase for action is that the odds against hitting a 14 parlay are 2 to the 4th power or 16 to 1. So if this were a fair wager, a $100 wager would pay you $1,600. The gambling industry touting parlays, here the gambling establishment in partnership with football, is holding a 33 1/3% advantage over the public. But the point here is the action. You can bet a little to win a lot. And Drew Brees, a future Hall of Famer, mentioned the same game parlay. So while it used to be you had to take 4 separate games and combine them, now the gambling establishment will let you go inside each game and come up with your own 4 random events that change throughout the game. And it's not limited to just 4. It starts at 3, goes up to 15. With the odds always being a 1/3 house advantage. But it's designed for people to chase immediate and instant action through the use of same game parlays. Now, Drew Brees mentioned the risk-free bet. Here's a combination of the risk-free bet, not just where he said a moment ago, $2,000, which we're going to talk about in a moment, but here's how the individual player is solicited with the promise of something risk-free. Make a $10 risk-free bet on a parlay. If it doesn't win, we'll give you your money back. But they don't give you your money back, as you'll see in a moment. They give you credits on the site to chase the losses. The very diagnostic criteria we were looking at earlier when we talked about DSM-5 and the chase being part of what gambling addiction is all about. And note here, this particular promotion is designed for the public to lose. Look at number 3. Wagers must have final odds of plus 400 or greater to qualify. For example, plus 450, plus 500. For those of you who may not gamble actively, the higher the number, the more the long shot. This is not designed to win. This is designed for a $10 player to lose, be given credits, and the chase is on. So let's take a real hard look at the danger of the risk-free bet. Caesars was promoting a $5,000 risk-free bet. Let's look at what it means.
$5,000! Hey, yeah, hi. I just want to make sure you're saying on my first bet, the Caesars Sportsbook app will cover any loss up to $5,000?
Yeah, Carl. That's why I released those $5,000!
$5,000? You're sure about that? Because that sounds...
Carl, are you paying attention? The deal is good for all new customers except Carl. Everybody give it up for the Caesars Sportsbook app. Everybody. $5,000.
The prominently displayed NFL logo and a 30-second commercial that promises you they will cover your bet up to $5,000. This is the chase of action and chasing losses. Let's look at what is really happening. First, there's no such thing as a risk-free bet. Next, the promotion requires you to make an initial deposit and bet $5,000. There are absolutely no affordability checks built into this promotion or this commercial. You have no idea whether the individual has the wherewithal to wager and risk $5,000, but they're being promised it is risk-free. We will cover, unless you're Carl, we will cover your bet up to $5,000. Again, no affordability checks, but your bet's not covered, nor is it risk-free. For no money is ever returned or refunded. If the bet is lost, the gambling company gives you credits to wager on their site. Typically, they give them in increments, perhaps 5 $1,000 credits, or sometimes they'll let you use the whole thing at once. But the design model is you've just lost $5,000. It's gone. It's in money heaven. It is never coming back. Here are credits to use on our site. The credits typically expire within 7 days. Remember earlier, DSM, the Chase, the gambling company is taking your money and giving you credits to chase on their site. This chase does not end with just sports betting. It's now being moved, and this is the model through the NFL's partnership with 7 gambling companies. It's being moved into the online casino. Watch.
All right, let's say I want to play blackjack, but I just want something quick while I'm sitting on my couch watching TV and there's like a commercial break.
I'm glad you asked here. I think you'd love DraftKings' best-in-market multi-hand blackjack. They built a multi-hand blackjack game that is better than anything else out there because they know people want to play more hands faster, right? While most multi-hand games let you play 3 to 5 hands of blackjack at once, DraftKings Casino created a multi-hand blackjack game that deals out up to 7 hands at once. So when you're watching TV and it's a commercial break, you can play more hands faster and easier than anywhere else.
I used to go to the places to bet, but the app, you get it done whenever you want. I'm in bed, I'm with my wife hanging out. Hey, 11 o'clock, oh, convenient, $100, I'm in. So I love it.
What could possibly go wrong here? They offer faster action, more hands more quickly, immediate access to faster action. Hey, you're bored during your TV commercial, pop into our app. You're in bed with your partner, make a quick 100. The entire promotion is designed around faster access to more action, the very heart of where problems with gambling arise. Needing or wanting faster action is a warning sign of a gambling problem, and it is the direct approach in this commercial of DraftKings. They are reaching out to the public, offering more access, faster action. Hey, make a quick 100. Again, the faster and more often and quicker a person gambles, the more the gambling company makes. DraftKings didn't stop there with the danger of the chase in the online casino.
At time, new casino players can receive a deposit bonus up to $2,000. That's right. New DraftKings casino players receive a deposit bonus up to $2,000. Plus, DraftKings is giving first-time players free credits to use on their favorite casino games. So don't wait. Download the DraftKings casino app now. And for new casino players, get a deposit bonus up to $2,000 plus free casino credit.
I'm going to ask everyone to just take a moment and either with a piece of paper next to you or in your own mind, answer for yourself this question. How much money does a person have to risk in the online casino to qualify for the $2,000 bonus? So all I want you to do is whether you want to put it in the chat, whether you want to write it down for yourself or just think it for yourself, makes no difference to me. I want you to focus on the question. How much money under the promotion you just saw must an individual gamble and risk to qualify for a $2,000 bonus? The answer to the question is shocking. There's a couple of answers in chat. No one's gotten there yet. One person got close. In the interest of time, I will reveal it to you. You must risk, depending upon the game you choose to play in the online casino, $60,000 to $600,000 in 30 days. And if you don't meet that criteria, you do not receive the bonus. The access to action to chase, all in less than 30 days without a single screen. The commercial you just saw aired last Saturday as part of a 30-minute infomercial in Philadelphia, 5 different times on Saturday morning. I go back to Commissioner Goodell, who in 2017 adopted in a sworn affidavit the words of his predecessor, Commissioner Tagliabill, that the spread of legalized sports gambling would forever change, and for the worse, what NFL games stand for and how they are perceived. Commissioner Goodell was right, because the model that has been set up with the 7 gambling companies, where they are paying billions to the NFL, additional money to Genius Sports, and then individual teams are receiving money from gambling companies, mandates that the gambling companies have to get this money back. They don't have a product to sell in the marketplace. They don't sell widgets or washing machines. They don't sell cars or homes or TVs. They have one product, and their product is gambling action. The only way that the gambling companies can recoup their money is to draw faster and bigger action, the access to action and chase model. You have just seen it described. In 2018, you've heard it described by me, and you've seen it on video display in the advertising itself. Action to access to chase. What people need to begin to discuss is how this has happened in a little over 3 years. Well, again, focusing on the NFL for just a moment. Right after the Supreme Court decided the Murphy case, Commissioner Goodell and the league went to their players' union and did something unprecedented. They ripped up the collective bargaining agreement and formed a new one. Much of this will be the subject of another seminar down the road, but they did it so they could rewrite the Constitution and take away the prohibition on gambling. The NFL now profits from the faster access to action and chase that is the very model of sports betting in America that the 31 states and District of Columbia have signed on to, perhaps not even recognizing what is happening. And here's what the NFL has done in response. The NFL, apparently not learning anything from big tobacco, has donated $6 million to the National Council on Problem Gambling, saying we're here to help. In other words, the folks who are putting out the most dangerous aspects of the product, they're saying, we'll give you money to treat those who fall through the cracks. That is the antithesis of public health policy. The antithesis. Public health policy, whether you're a future counselor such as myself, a lawyer and public health advocate such as Mark, or anyone on this webinar concerned, needs to recognize that it begins by controlling access to the product. What the NFL and the National Council on Problem Gambling have done is gone and partnered up as a distraction to say, look at what we're doing. We're trying to help people, but we're not. We're not looking at this from the macro issue of how do we prevent harm in the first place. You'll see here, the American Gaming Association, the International Center for Responsible Gaming, both gambling industry groups are donating. They've donated to Harvard and the Division on Addiction to fund studies looking at treatment. And treatment is important, but having the gambling industry, the gambling establishment, directly linked to the funding of treatment is unethical. It's unethical from a counseling perspective. It's unethical from a research perspective. And we in America need to look across the pond, and we will see that in the United Kingdom, they are ahead of us on this issue. And these headlines hit on Sunday, where NHS is no longer accepting funding from the gambling establishment. Research and treatment must become independent of the gambling companies and the gambling establishment. That's why we're here today. That's why Mark is here today, to begin to educate the public on the need to get the gambling establishment out of the effort to fund how gambling is researched, how gambling is treated. This is a public health issue. The gambling establishment cannot be involved in telling us how to handle a public health problem. For the result becomes promotions, a $2,000 sign-up bonus that are asking you to gamble between $60,000 to $600,000. It was Frederick Douglass who said, "Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will." This is what we are looking at. It's the beginning of this crisis in America. It's a public health issue, just like tobacco. And what I hope we've been able to explain just a little bit today is how advertising is what we call in counseling the tip of the iceberg. It's the piece that you can see, but so much additional public harm is going on beneath the surface. We hope to use the focus on advertising as a launching pad to begin to further educate the public on what the gambling establishment is doing and how it is completely inconsistent with public health. With that, I will return this to Mark and Les, and I thank everyone for your time and your attention.